middle of a heated debate about cookie splitting. Adam said he would share the cookie 3 ways.
It's not that great.
But really, he just took out the entire middle and gave us
No. I'll split it again. It's fine.
Crust.
It's fine. Share and they complain.
Look, this is what he did. So that's mine and Giannis's.
Okay, you have the middle as well. It's fine.
He's already eaten most of it now. I can't.
No. I haven't. I divided it again. Anyway, welcome to Thursday.
Hey guys.
Welcome to Thursday. We've got the nice crew assembled.
Yeah.
We've got.
Hi, I'm Deb.
We've got.
I'm Yanis.
And we've got myself, Adam. And we've got you guys. So why don't we say some hellos?
Hi guys. Sure. Let's see. Let's say hi to Pappy Blez and Twitch McGlitch and Fire Darkshay and Driller Beast and Alfie and Shenandrew and Truarsn, Skywarp, Cyber Venom, Cage and the Penguin God, Dirty Spots, Elder Khan and Celiado and Driller Beast, and who else we got? Medicine. Yeah, Medicine. Skyarp wants you to show them your t-shirt, Adam.
I did. And by the way, we were in this room last week, right?
I haven't been here for 2 weeks.
I have, and we were here, so it's the same room.
Yeah.
It's a classic room. It's called
room.
It's called D-pad because it's you can't see it, but behind the camera we've got a big like a joystick controller,
yes.
And we have a big controller on the TV. It's all kind of like a controller themed room.
Control room, you could say.
I do like Galaxy better. Galaxy has like all these constellations that are made of like animals.
As a room.
Yeah, that are like.
But I like this room better to stream because the window's not as full, so you guys can see the lovely Swandrew.
You can also see all our team. Yeah,
form.
pretty much.
Oh yeah, Swan.
Some developers love
Where's Swandrew?
Exactly.
Oh, he's
They're
here.
there.
try to hide themselves.
Yeah. We've got Neil behind the sign over there. We've got Chris also behind the sign that you can't see. James is in the background. We've got Alessandro. Got the whole shebang. Anyways, and yeah, we've also got Howard Choi. What's up? And Nega Quark, yay, you! Treasure King, Renee Ramos, and Evan Smith, and McChoko. You speak French? Oh, I think McChoko is French, not me. Bonjour. We got Braulio Wasker Herman, cool name. We've got Raptor Prime, and Latoro Domingo, and Jacob Webster, and Victor Tapia, and Deadpool, and Saksham. And we've got...
Dobromir Setsa Spasov and John Bungarner. We've got Michael Metcalf, Luis Herrera. I remember that name, Luis Herrera, I believe.
Oh yeah?
Who else do we have?
We've also got...
Felton Harmon. We've got Von Kirk Barnes. We've got Yannick Gorgs, William Sabo, John Murdy or the third.
The third.
And Ali Imari, and plenty of other folks. So welcome to everyone on all the platforms that we are supporting today. We have a nice stream ahead. We will do some Q&A, we will do some giveaway.
Oh, sorry, is there... Someone says Pablo fix the sound. Pablo's not in the room. He's probably watching somewhere though.
What do you want us to fix?
Fix the sound. Is there a delay? Is there a... Let us know what you mean by fix the sound. Maybe Pablo will tell us. Maybe he's watching.
He probably is. He is tricky like that. So we'll try to do a giveaway, we'll try to do Q&A. We'll also speak about Triple Changes, Springer and Astro Train. You had a chance to play them. We will, if you haven't played them, if you haven't checked them out, we will check them out again on the stream. And we will talk about the new upcoming event that starts tomorrow. So, where shall we begin, do you reckon, Deb?
I reckon we should start with... Why don't we start with the event?
Giannis, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, take it away, Giannis. Got a lot of chords and things
Boom.
happening.
So this is gonna be the usual leaderboard event. So can you see it on the screen now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They can see
take
it.
part.
Walk us through the rewards.
So we have.
Tell us what kind of event it is. Oh, you just said it's a
I just said
leaderboard
it's a leaderboard event.
event.
Pay attention.
For those of you who don't know what that is,
So it's so you have the usual like alliance totalizer here, but then at the end of the event we'll just go through the leaderboards, like which alliance are the top 5, and they're gonna get the 4-star Springer Crystal alongside some like Spark rewards, and then the people that are 5 to 100 get the 3-star like Springer or Astro Train, and a few other rewards, and I think after 100 it's like Premium Character Crystals with some other rewards.
Now this leaderboard has been planned sometime in advance, of course. But what do you reckon? Is there any chatter around in the live ops area about like looking at leaderboards and seeing if we want to do some kind of hybrid approach?
There are discussions. We would like to change it a bit, so not all leaderboards are the same. But I don't know. The ideas are still like in the thought process. We don't have anything constructive.
Yeah, there are some solutions we are thinking about that go beyond the chance crystals to certain guarantees to certain types of players. Like for example, you know, the high players in alliances that are not top 5 potentially. But these are still ideas, so until we implement them, that's gonna take us a while. So for now, we're sticking to the format that we had before. And on top of the leaderboard, there are the standard
events,
standard rewards as well in the totalizer. So every single alliance can get a triple changer. I think a 2-star is just fun for the sake of it, but perhaps, you know, I do appreciate that if you're a high level player, you do want to get a 3-star at least. But as always, leaderboard is not the only way to get a bot, so
they always go eventually.
They end up in this,
and also the character crystal, the premium character crystal. So it's just a matter of time. You
can get it with shards, basically. For time. All right. Do we have some kind of dialogue? We should, right?
Yay!
So
I missed you guys, by the way. I haven't been here in a while, so it's like nice to see you. Not see you, but like I know that you're there.
What did you do last week? Was it the TwitchCon thing? No, it was TwitchCon was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, last week I was...
Women in Games?
No, I was like, what was it?
Best workplace?
No, last week I was at an esports workshop on Thursday.
Hasn't been really like 3 weeks, right? It's the TwitchCon.
So I missed for TwitchCon, but then I was back the week after. But then I missed again because I was at this workshop, and then there was something else.
You also collected the award.
Yeah, that was a while ago though. That was before the North in Birmingham, yeah. But that was a while ago, so.
It's the North. Anything like north of London is the North.
In the North, yeah.
Winter is coming.
Speaking of the North, we had a pretty cool Game of Thrones based birthday in the office yesterday.
Yes, you organized that. It was great.
I did. It was a bit last minute. I would say.
It didn't look.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
It was a little, and I was like scrambling, but it all came together in the end really nicely. Had some good participation, and I think Colin loved it, so it's awesome. It was Colin's birthday.
Cool.
So
King Colin, go on.
Yeah, so first of all, let's take a look at the art. Take a look at the art, like this is amazing.
It's chocolate orange.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I hate chocolate orange,
well,
but I like this. I don't know, the strawberry green tea just completely...
Ben's Cookies, you guys.
Ben's Cookies, that's the name of the company. So full endorsement from us. They're great. Really great.
So the art.
Yeah, the art. Alex, right?
Yeah, he's
Alex
like outdoing himself.
Outdoing himself every single time. I love it. We were thinking about potentially Springer kind of grabbing onto Astro Chain unless they leave the planet, but this is even better. Some kind of, you know, valley that they're traveling through, and Shakticons just everywhere. So yeah, 1 quintesson crippling fear and hundreds of snapping jaws in more than Springer and Astro Chain can handle. Is more than Springer and Astro Chain can handle. I mean, who can handle 100 Shakticons? I don't know. I mean,
you never know.
Maybe a combiner with the AoE. Anyway, we can join Springer and Astro Train as the Triple Changer saga reaches its conclusion and fight on the weekend's event leaderboard for a chance to unlock 3 or 4-star Springer or Astro Train. We have a transmission. There is another one available in the totalizer, so please at least check that. No matter how your alliance performs, you should be able to get that. It's at the very bottom. And the story, again written by Simon Furman, is really fun. and this is the conclusion. So we would like to find some ways to bring stories that are kind of more everlasting, maybe multiple stories in a single newsfeed that kind of linger for a while, just because we put quite a lot of time and quite a lot of attention to these stories, but if you miss a single event or if you're in the middle of the battle, it's hard to replay certain parts of the
That's
story.
true.
It's also
We did-
for like newer players or something. I mean,
That's
it'd be
true.
nice if we could like give these stories back to them at some point, but
We used to do like something called story mode where we did like recaps of all the stories in game. And we
You did
that.
it, it was great.
Yeah, we did it for the Quintesson saga, but we haven't done it since. I guess because Pablo and I just didn't have the bandwidth to do it anymore. But that's not to say we will never do that again.
If you guys want us to do it, we will do it.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
suppose- I
whoa,
suppose-
whoa, whoa.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's like, it's definitely more likely.
That's true.
Um,
That's fair.
Alright, let's play the transmission. You're taking the first bot, I'll take the second.
Yay! Oh, shout out to Knights Brigade.
okay. So, anything from Springer?
Nada, zilch. Send me through, Prime. Send the wreckers. Send someone.
I cannot risk further contamination by this Quintesson fear virus cap. Springer is resourceful. He will find a way back. He has to.
I hope so, Prime. I just get this gut feeling he's on his own in a world of pain and hurt.
Back on Quintessa.
Ben, your turn.
Astro Train, how you doing over there?
Oh, knee deep in Sakticones, I'm having a whale of time. For every 6 I butter and deep fry, another 6 it take the place.
We gotta take to the air and hope these critters aren't flying fish.
Phew, breathing space at last. Much as I hate to run from a fight, we should make like shepherds and get the flock out of here.
Agreed, let's head for our respective extraction points. Now we know what we know, it's up to other brighter, smarter bots to figure out this mess.
Ooh. It's quite a mess. It's quite a mess, however, the characters are anything but. Let's take a look at them in the showroom.
Let's.
They
Yeah, I
should
haven't,
be-
I didn't get to see them last week, so.
You didn't? Ooh, are
I
they
wasn't
here? Did you pick a correct account, Deb?
I picked the one that we're always on. Is
Did
it
you
wrong?
verify it? No.
No.
Oh, Deborah. Alright, show our beautiful
Lovely
faces.
faces. So anyways.
As I try to bring us.
I was gonna try to bring us up to speed on a different account because I guess I didn't hit the right one.
Shame.
Shame on me. Very fitting. But anyways,
Um,
eating our cookies. Tell us what's new with you guys. What's been going on since I've been away? Give me some like updates in chat. Hi Prime Time. Nice to see you. Dirty Spot. Are you ill? Because it sounds like from what you've just written, maybe you're sick. Yeah, my mouth is a little bit full. It's fine. It's gone now. Skyward says, it'd be cool if they had the real voices during this, like an audiobook. Are you trying to say that our voice interpretations are not up to snuff? I would agree with you on that.
We practice a lot for this, right?
Huh?
We practice a lot.
Yeah,
for
we
this.
practiced for like 3 weeks, so
Yeah.
I'm slightly, upset that...
we
Anyways.
didn't practice at all. Come on.
No, obviously not.
If we actually practiced, we would.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, then, Adam.
Make a little
you
better.
practice every day.
No, not anymore.
You used to anyway.
Ooh,
I used to be
Padmaster-
stuck doing Megatron voice at
That's
random
true.
intervals.
And Grimlock, yeah. Sorry, somebody was asking what flavor were there. I missed who it was. I had it and then I lost it. Oh, Pangmaster. They're like a chocolate orange. Adam disputes the fact that they're orange, but they are chocolate orange. What else happened recently?
No.
Twarzni, thank you. It probably needs a wash, but I appreciate it anyway.
It's pre-prod, right?
Yeah, you said pre-pod before.
So my client needs to.
Oh yeah,
Um,
just keep going.
Other things that happened recently, of course, we had Halloween, and we had Halloween. We had Halloween. Oh my god, I just did it again. We had Halloween in the office as well. Everybody dressed up. We had a fun party, and if you haven't yet, haven't seen it yet. We also made a horror film. It's sort of become like a weird annual tradition that me and Mark, our cinematographer, who you guys have met before, if you've been on the stream for a while. Yeah, we make this like horror film every year, where basically in the first year, our mascot Albert was kind of possessed and he was like killing people in the office, and then the second episode kind of followed the same vein. They're both on our YouTube if you want to check them out. They're good fun. Would you like? Would you like?
They're especially good fun if you like cringeworthy performances.
Yeah, my acting is. Mwah.
However, in the sequel, there's a very sassy scene in the
oh, there is
in the female
very
toilets.
sassy.
I'm not gonna spell more, but there's a scene with you there, right?
Yeah, me and Chris.
In the female toilets. It's quite fierce. I love it.
It is. Yeah, it's a bit Mean Girls. Yeah, it's
Full of sass.
It's hilarious.
Anyways,
here we go. Astro Train.
Yes, finally, we made it. Astro Train in all his glory. And I think in our challenge battle, some of the transformations didn't work for some reason.
No, the Springer was the only one affected.
Yeah.
When he was doing his attacks, he wasn't transforming, but I think
Yeah, but that was only in the
that's
challenge
only in
battle.
the challenge battle, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't catch that in time. But we wanted to show the challenge battle regardless of that. And I think what's important is that the transformations actually do work in game with any other in any other scenario, which is good because these are quite an eyeful to look at. I think. Is that an expression? An eyeful?
Huh? Sorry, an eyeful? Yeah.
Is that like an earful?
You could say it.
Visually.
Yeah, like, ooh, I got an eyeful. That means you
Yeah.
saw stuff you weren't supposed
Ooh.
to.
I think we're all supposed to see this because it's correct. And I wish we could hear it as well because it's full of clicks and clacks that do accompany that. It's like. Yes.
I mean, we do have set. Okay.
We do have sound on this on the iPad.
Yeah.
We did. You're in this one.
Wow, we never did. So great.
I mean, if you have it on, then yeah.
Probably. I think so.
Should be.
Maybe. Yeah.
No.
Wait for it.
It's not on.
Wait.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Now it is. Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go.
So you can hear Springer, hopefully,
Yeah.
over my voice.
Well, we can turn it up and drown you out.
And
Like this, see? We're back.
alright, perfect.
It was fun for a second.
So yeah, this is Springer. I'm gonna transform him again because I love the blade, the use of the blade. The blade is actually, I believe, transforming into a rotor, or rather, the rotor is kind of made of blades, which is really, really nifty. And yeah, it's
Can you
one of the.
transform it again? I missed it.
Yeah, sure. Come on, I need to transform Astro Train again then.
Yeah.
Just for the sake
Correct.
of balance. Boom! A gun and a sword, because why not take both into, if you're going to, sword fight, take a sword, if you're going to a gunfight. Or take two guns, that's also good. Always works. And the guns are actually part of the vehicle as well, which made it extra tricky to line everything up in a transformation. But I believe, yeah, the artists have made a really good job with these guys.
This is cool, man.
Yeah, first triple changes in the game. We promised them a long time ago. They are finally releasing this weekend. And you had a chance to play them. We shall play them again.
Yes.
Just for the sake of it. Talk about the abilities a bit more.
For my sake.
Yeah, for your sake, Debs. I've got a good squad here. I'm not sure if I have a good enough enemies. I think I need to upgrade my scanner here. But regardless, these guys are coming. But there's actually a new version of the game that we're brewing. We're finishing and wrapping it up. Probably deploying it next week.
Yeah.
Whenever we do that, that means things are gonna go live slowly next week, and then in the middle of the week when we release the content version, so like when we update the actual things that run the game, the data, we will enable certain new things, right?
It's gonna be a bit. I think when it start going next week. So you're gonna have the ability to check where your alliance is ranked on both medals and wars without having to scroll down to 1,000 position to find your alliance. And the coolest thing we're gonna have, but that's gonna come in a few weeks later because we need to do the new content, and that takes a bit more time until we have everyone on the new client. So that would be the ability to change power cores from anywhere. From if you are in a troop info, you can just change from there. So you won't have to for a bot to go in the research lab or go to the power core lab and do it from there. So you just troop info, you could just go in there and then switch straight away. It's what I found like really useful when I'm like selecting my squad, and I was like after scouting a base, and like I know what to expect. I need to change my strategy. So
new shortcuts.
It was easier than it's going the way back out and going back in. So you can just do it from there. It seems simple, but apparently it took us 3 days to try to figure that out.
Because we had some issues with lighting. So
that was just
game development is complex.
Yeah.
Like, you change one thing and suddenly your lighting stops working correctly because everything is connected. Especially when you have quite a lot of bots, quite a lot of assets being intertwined. Just a slight off topic here. We have. Oh, did I manage? Yes. We have Astro Chain here. I was using the heal ability, which is really nifty, as you can travel to any part of the map. Actually, the range is almost as big as the map itself. It kind of engulfs everything. You can't even see it that you're targeting. That's how big the range is. And you can navigate to any bot you like to just help them out. And then you can use the defensive perimeter once you establish a good position. Now the range of the ability will definitely stay as this. It's a very strong ability, and you use the first ability to reposition the character, either get them into place or get them away from trouble after using this second one. We do not want to increase the range even further because it would be completely overpowered. So
you mean the range?
Of we got some
defensive
suggestions for increasing the defensive. However it's called, Jesus.
It's been so long we've worked on it.
The second ability, defensive perimeter. We were not going to increase that because that would be way too strong. Now it requires skill and planning when it comes to positioning, but you do have the first ability to help you out with that. So use it accordingly. And actually the projectiles will strike things that are outside, so if you do have stuff that falls outside of the defensive perimeter, it will pick targets that are further away. It's just engaging the first target and targeting that has to be done within the range, and that's on purpose. And it also means that there's a certain range that it attracts defenses. So again, here we can see targeting a building that was outside of the range, which is quite nifty. And who do we have? We have sniping. Boom! I love when it works. Oh, actually, I know a way. I was doing particle effects today, special effects. I now know a way how to make these circles actually align perfectly.
That looks cool, man.
Yeah, it still looks cool. But I think I have a way to improve it, which I will. Do you want to take away Springer?
Yeah, I'm playing along.
Just to repeat, next week you'll be able to see your alliance's position on the leaderboard. Let's see if it's visible here. I'm not sure if my account is part of an alliance.
I don't think the client is new, is it?
Probably not. But it's a staging client, so let's take a look. Oops, sorry.
You're in an alliance because you can see the event.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can see it. So that part on the bottom, we aspired to do it for quite a long time. We got to it just recently. What else is landing? Beyond that, there's the shortcuts to the
power cores.
To the power cores.
That's the main thing, and some bug fixes, but not.
Also, shock towers. That's this build, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean that's a bug fix.
Yeah, but it's a big one, right? For some people, it is a really big one. So shock towers. Let me take a quick one. Shock towers and mines will now deal damage or stun in terms of mines directly in this circle. No longer will the circle kind of be moved towards the target, because that's what happened is if you had the target where the storage is here, the whole circle would kind of move around towards that.
It's the same with the bots. If a tank was to trigger it, then the shock tower will just center the damage on the target, but that's how it used to work. So that's why your gunners, if it goes behind the tank, will get hit.
Or let's say there was an early
even
more likely, right?
Outside the raid. So now it will just focus on the shock tower, so that will make it a bit not having your.
It will be working as intended. It will be reliable. It will be exactly around the shock tower. Same goes with the mines. The radius, the actual radius is bigger than this, but the activation radius is quite small. So once you go into the activation radius, there is a bit bigger radius around the mine that is going to affect
the mine though
bolts there.
still does affect if there are adjustment bolts, so it will still like do a chain reaction or something.
I mean, it's just the radius is quite big
Yeah.
compared to the activation. So activation is smaller than the actual AoE, but it is going to work properly. It's not going to be offset anymore, which is good. It was especially visible on the shock tower, and especially frustrating when your gunners who were supposed to be outside of the range got damaged. So that's a good fix. Any other fixes that are kind of important to share or communicate?
Remember,
there
we
might
don't have
be.
enough votes here to do Springer this account.
Some of you asked if we're going to do a giveaway. We are.
Yes.
As soon as they're.
Absolutely. Do we
everything.
have a set of questions or something?
I'm looking for something right now.
I think I have a good one.
Oh yeah.
Do you have another account?
Yeah, I do. I have a, but you have a Springer here.
2 bolts.
Only 2 bolts.
Yes. I'll be a bit tricky.
Okay, I'll give you a third bot. I'll try and give you a.
I can do it, it's fine.
Oh, they are strong bots. Come on, you can do it. If it allows
Yeah,
you.
it's fine.
What is he worried about?
Yeah,
not
he's
being
worried
able to-
about
Oh, come on,
getting
you what?
served by
I have
the.
a reputation to uphold.
Fair enough.
What reputation?
Ooh,
I know
ouch,
this game
burn.
like someone else.
Yeah, you do. Janus does know his game very well.
Do you think this is too obscure?
Oh my god, that is super obscure. Deb just picked up a question that's.
It's apparently too difficult.
It's definitely too difficult. I have a good question I'm looking for that we can pick in a moment. And in the meantime, you can see Springer. Take a nice zoom in on the vehicle. You can see it transform actually properly, unlike in the challenge battle. By the way, if you guys do like the challenge battles, we will keep them coming. That's our intention. So far, the reception has been good, and but if it stops being
Oh,
good,
the challenge battles where you get to
yeah.
use them in advance.
We use them. Yeah,
Those,
we
yeah,
use
those are
them.
dope.
Yeah, they're really. I really like them. I appreciate the ability to play the bot before.
Yeah, for sure.
I commit the time just to see how cool they are. Oh yes, let's show the art. Do we have the art?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's do that.
Should we do giveaway then, Art?
Sure, let's do one giveaway. Do you have a question? I'm still
I thought you
looking.
said you saw one. No, we can do art first. It's fine.
Right.
Or we can do my random
There's
art
a good question we can answer there. Someone is asking if when you upgrade Springer's ability,
Yeah.
if that affects
Yes.
only one of them
Yeah,
yeah.
together.
I thought you meant a trivia question.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what is
So yeah,
The answer is 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
So the cost to upgrade the ability is the same as any other bot, but you do upgrade both abilities, and they upgrade in a similar fashion, let's say percentage-wise, as any other bot. So yeah, they're a really good place to sync some of your spark. By sync I mean spend.
you can probably check it. We're not showing it anymore. Oh no, we are. So yeah, it upgrades both at the same time. So that's good to know. So you don't have to spend twice to upgrade the ability.
Oh, that one's not good. Anyways, so are you doing the same thing?
Okay, I've got a question.
Adam's got one. Do you want to tell them the rules before you?
Yeah, the rules of the question of the giveaway are we will randomly pick a winner amongst the correct answers. The correct answers have to be supplied with your name, your username, your HQ level, and your alliance name. So, for example, Adam HQ15 Deb Squad. Is that your alliance, Deb Squad?
That's it.
Devovision. So yeah, correct answer, your username, HQ level, and alliance name. That will allow us to give you the award. It might take us a day or two for the reward to propagate. Usually it's much faster, but please do allow for at least until end of Friday for the awards to land. And if it doesn't land by end of Friday, then you can let us know. All right.
I've got one.
Good. I've got the question. So the question is,
Yes.
who did
Adam's questions are so hard.
Who did Springer duel on the? Yeah, who did Springer duel with in?
Okay.
I'm trying to frame this question.
Shall I do mine?
Alright, which that's okay. It's gonna be super easy. Which Junkion did Springer duel with?
Mm-hmm.
That's super easy. Which Junkion did Springer have a duel with?
And remember to include your in-game name, your HQ level, and your alliance with your answer. Otherwise, we cannot accept your answer.
Yes. This was too easy.
What's that?
This was
Yeah,
too
I already
easy.
see some people getting it.
I wish I could frame this differently. So, like, I think Junkion by itself is quite leading.
It's quite what?
Leading. I think it's a leading question. Oh well. Take a freebie.
Oh well, exactly.
I'm gonna try and find a better one.
Okay, well, alright, let's see. I picked one winner.
Such a better question.
Okay, well, we can do another one, but let's finish this one first, hey? And let's pick a random one. Hizzy. Okay. We have 3 winners.
Ooh, okay. Right, drum roll. On what's the first platform?
Facebook.
On Facebook, we've got. By the way, correct answer was Reggar.
Yes.
On Facebook, the winner has been.
Is Action Lovick. Congratulations to, or maybe it's Ashan, I'm not sure, but congratulations to you. And congratulations on YouTube to A's Station.
Short faces.
Huh?
Short faces.
Yeah.
Ha!
There's our
That's
faces.
good.
YouTube, congratulations to A's Station for also getting it Rekgar, and on Twitch, congratulations to Unichronic, who I don't know yet. Congrats to congrats to you as well. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I've got a question.
Wait, before you do that, I'll do an answer. There's quite a lot of questions around the Wallbuster core. By the way, we did our first rebalancing. We hope that things are better now, but we will keep monitoring stuff. So please also send us your feedback, be it here, be it in Transformers Air Force, support at transformersairforce.com. Anyway, with that done, there's quite a lot of questions around the Wallbuster core. Does it affect ability damage or not? The answer is, it's complicated. So the actual answer is, for most abilities, it does increase the damage, and you can actually see it by observing the red sparks on the character as the damage is being dealt. So for example, if you were to put Wallbuster on, let's say, Prowl, and use a rocket barrage, the moment the rockets land, you see the damage is amplified, and you can also see that effect, visual effect on Prowl, which is a good indication that the effect is working. However, there's 2 big caveats. It doesn't currently work on Slog and Straxus, for reason that the ability is very complex and the way it works and calculates the damage, and it just doesn't take that into account. This is a bug, and we will probably get around to fixing it sometime. We just need to prioritize it against every single other issue we have, which is part of Yanis's headaches.
So it is actually getting worked at the moment. I don't know if we're gonna make the cut for closing the build, but it is something we are working on.
We will do want to address this. We'll see whether we can make it or not. Second part, it doesn't apply the damage multiplier on certain kind of wall piercing damage. That's what we call it. Basically, warrior abilities like Grimlock when they run, or when when a warrior smashes through walls as the kind of warrior or leader like Optimus Prime or Grimlock, when they kind of rush in and they damage things along the way and they deal damage to walls, that damage does not receive that multiplier. So this is an issue, we are tracking it, we are fighting it. Whether we can fix it in time for next week, we do not know, but we will try. Other than that, all the explosions and airstrikes and whatever it is, they do work, and they do get correctly amplified.
By the way, for those of you who have won awards, please allow for some time for them to show up in your accounts. It'll probably be at least 24 hours, so don't worry if you haven't gotten them straight away. They will appear. It just takes a little bit of time. And that being said, oh no,
Second
Adam's
question.
giving me the
Well,
thought,
at
the
least-
finger.
At least 2 questions. Go on. We promised some Q&A as well, right? We didn't have time for Q&A last week. We had Josh. We had quite a lot to go through. This week we have some time for Q&A and giveaways, of course, as well. To Calibur is asking, there is an idea about changing bot skins through power cores. When do we see this coming into light? With skins, we do plan to try and release some of these, I believe, this year. Maybe during the holidays. We'll see how we finalize our plans. We do have plans on bringing more and more skins as we go along. It's just a matter of balancing that work effort against everything else. However, skins are pretty cool. I've seen some ideas around, let's say, white ultramagnets that was, for example, drifting around. We think it's cool. It's just a matter of when we can slot it in. We are working on new characters. We are fixing bugs as well. We're trying to develop new features and make the whole game a better place. So yes, the answer is yes, there will be skins. We don't know exactly when the first ones will land. We do have some of them kind of ready, so probably around holiday time. That would be my best guess. We can actually check our live ops schedule. Can we? I think there's gonna be before we do the skins, there's gonna be some more visual power cores that are actually not skins but are equally awesome.
Did you see Techno Angel's question about power cores?
Keep a lookout for those. No, I haven't. What is it?
He's asking, why can't power cores be fused on bots that are in cooldown?
It's because the bot is away and it doesn't have the power core. Basically, what happened is we definitely do not want you to take out the power core while the bot is on cooldown. The reason being, it could lead to very negative behavior within the player. Where you would think that you need to take the power core out and put the power core on a different bot while this bot is on cooldown, and you would create this very bad player behavior pattern where people would do things that are not fun just because they think they have to. Because I'm not gonna spend Cybercoins to skip Optimus. I just want to take the Optimus core out and then put the resources here and put them there. It just seems like a lot of very bad. Like inventory management, and we don't think inventory management is necessarily a very fun thing to do. We'd rather have people play the game and enjoy the battles. So that's why you can't take out the power core while the bot is on cooldown, but the fusion is just an extension of that. So you cannot interact with power core, because when we allow one interaction, it kind of becomes really weird. Like, why can you do one thing but you can't do the other? You can put the power core on bot, I believe. But the way I think about it is like, the bot is not here or the bot is unavailable. I cannot take the power core out or do anything with the power core. But if the bot is away, I can still put the power core aside for him when he comes in. So that's the way I internalize it in my head. Whether it makes sense for every single person in the world, probably not.
I mean, we had even people from here like that they were curious about this decision. Our decision was like to not have people like all the time swap up the cores.
Yeah, that's I was really against that.
Everything. So I think for now, just keeping that for sure, and then if maybe it makes sense to unlock something for when we're fusing, we can revisit in the future if we see it doesn't work. But for the time, that's how it's going to be.
There's a question: what kind of power cores go on missile launchers and shock towers? So shock towers do not have power cores currently. That's our intention. We do not want to imbalance the game too much in a single drop. We think that would make the defenses too strong, potentially. Also, beam lasers do not have power cores. It is our intention, and stays in mind, it is our intention to unroll these as we go along. There will be more power core types, there will be more power core defenses that accept them. But until we get there, we limited the choice to several defenses to actually also make it easier to grasp the feature, to grasp that part of the game, because it's quite new, so it can be quite overwhelming. As for missile launchers, you can put a guided missiles core, which is quite nifty. The missiles will hit directly on the target, so we're removing the AoE component of the explosion, but making all the missiles hit even if the target is moving. Even a plane can be damaged by these missiles. So if the plane is flying around and getting kind of attention from the missile launcher, before it would kind of waste the missile launcher because the explosions will just be scattered in the clouds. And now the missiles will follow the plane and they will land a hit on the plane, either in the air or on the ground, which is quite nice. And on top of that, you can put any universal core that missile launcher can accept. So damage, regeneration, of health, armor, which is health, and I think that's pretty much it right now. But there will be more, of course, as we go along. Good. We can do the second question now. I'm happy. We did some
you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it from your cues, but we
Hit
shall
them with something
come
hard.
back to them. Oh, I don't think it's that hard, but that's okay. In the G1 cartoon,
You stuck the same way as me. Like, how do I frame this question so it's not immediately?
no, I just want to make sure it's legit. Who was the English voice actor playing Astrotrain? So in the cartoon, the G1 cartoon, who was the English voice for Astrotrain? Who was the actor? Remember to please include your in-game name, your HQ level, and your alliance with your answer. Also, a couple people had an interesting question. Is there any way to change your graphic settings? So for example, if you want to change your screen to have some more black on it or some more space around it, is that possible? I don't think so.
No, we do, however, adjust the screen settings for this device we know of. So, new iPhone X has released. We were amongst some of the first developers to actually support the device properly. So all the user interface is nicely fit within the kind of operable area. It doesn't have a letterbox, which is like cinematic bars or on either sides. So we were quite proud of that. It took us quite a while to support this, but while we did that, we actually improved our support for Samsung devices as well, and a lot of other special cases, I would say, around screens. And when it comes to the game graphical settings, we do have different settings actually in the game, low, medium, high, and ultra, and these are assigned automatically based on the on your device. So basically, if you have more RAM and you have a faster processor, you might have slightly better looking graphics than if you have a very, very old, let's say, iPad mini or something. So we do that actually behind the scenes.
We did to consider at some point if we were to allow the users to change it, but we were worried that allowing that maybe would cause more crashes, but people just don't knowing what they're selecting. Always like, I want better graphics, but then the device will just crash because of memory issues or it will run really slow. So at the moment we just simplified it. And just
our priority is to make sure the game doesn't crash ever. And on some devices it's very tricky because with each system update, you might end up with just so much memory being allocated to the system that, with so many robots and buildings and everything, it just gets hard to even run the game properly. But we do try to optimize every single sprint. We do tests on each problematic device to try and iron these quirks out. We do not intend to add power cores to non-defensive buildings. That's the answer to a question from Agert 1983. I think to add power cores to non-defensive buildings would just make things a bit too
noisy,
too fiddly, too noisy, too many icons everywhere. Can you imagine power cores on walls? That would be just that would just be too much.
Increase the armor of
the aim is to make power cores meaningful. That always was the aim. Make them not too crazily powerful, but make them meaningful. So it's a very delicate balance that we're threading. We want them to be useful, but not like make the whole game about power cores. I think we strike the balance pretty well. There's always more balancing to be done, but I think where it is right now is probably how it will feel for some time now when it comes to the balance between offense and defense. Good. Do we have a question? Did we ask it? I'm completely.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah,
it's done.
we already did it.
And we have the answers? Alright, so stop answering, I suppose.
Yeah, so you guys can stop answering. Because I was feeling generous, I actually decided to pick two winners.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! You
I
just
know.
basically use the time you spent on just
Yeah,
answering
and just
questions.
decided to, you know, pick more people.
Good on you, Dad.
So, I try.
Alright, so what was the answer?
So the answer was the English voice actor for Astro Train in the G1 cartoon was Jack Angel.
Jack Angel.
Jack Angel.
That's a
And
nice name.
It
It's
is,
kind of.
pretty good. Sounds like a fake name.
It sounds like a name from like a 70s cop show.
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
his name
Jack Angel.
is Jack Angel.
Yeah, it does.
Stop! Woo!
And it,
He
and
shoots first, then he asks me to stop.
Jack Angel's no angel when it comes to crime. Something like that.
Yeah. Shoots first, ask questions later.
This could go on. If you're interested to know, the Japanese voice actor was Takuro Kitagawa. The Chinese voice actor was Zhang Minggu. The Latin American one was Jorge Garcia. And the German one was Gerd Wiedenhofen.
Oh, that sounds very German. I
was.
really want to hear.
Oh, also Reinhard Brock.
I really want to hear.
Oh, and Christoph Lindat. There's a lot of little ones. Oh, and Walter von Hauff.
They did like 4 people.
And
Did the
Gerhard
same-
Duda. As well as Holger Schwiers, Gerd Rigauer, Tonio von der Meden.
So did the German Astro Train have 7 different voices?
These are like different episodes, yeah.
So it's like everyone tried,
Yeah.
like everyone tried, and like not good enough. Next,
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
And
You're
then-
not Astro Train. Next.
Helio Ribeiro was the Portuguese one.
My favorite Astro Train is actually Astro Train from last week when we had Josh on stream. So we had the kind of Alabama accent Astro Train.
That's good.
I really like that kind of. I'm not sure if Josh aimed for that precisely,
Yeah.
but what he ended up with was glorious.
He was researching like the background of the car.
Yeah, he was
like
Was he?
what fixes them.
He actually did practice.
I think he's lost a lot of his accent because he's been living in San Francisco, right? So before he came
He still
here.
has it
before
at
show.
times.
Yeah, it comes
I think
out at
it's-
times.
Yeah, I think the Astro Train was spot on.
So, right, our winners are.
Oh yeah, we're torturing them.
Yeah,
aren't we?
I like.
It's my
our-
fault.
They keep posting.
Congratulations to Tom Steele 01. Congratulations also to Yannick Gorgs, as well as Nighthawk, and Tyler Turney, and Michael Metcalf, and Gilby 34. Congrats to all you guys for the answer. Yeah, Jack Angel,
Yay.
well done.
And please allow some time for the rewards to arrive. And there was a
Exactly.
question: any chance of increasing the expanding the teams, like alliances, I suppose, from 40 to 50? I would say no. The reason is 40 seems to be the golden balance. Like the alliances in our sister game, Rebel Kingdoms from Space Ape, tend to be a bit bigger, but they start smaller. We have just a single number, 40, and we think it's a number that's it's a big enough group to have quite a nice variety of people, and you know, some are more active, some are less. But it's also not that hard to recruit for. So we think it's a really nice balanced amount of people, and we do not want to offset that balance by making groups bigger, because then the good alliances get even better, and the weaker alliances have a harder time to find good members to slot into the spots they have. So I think it's actually better for the community to have alliances that are a bit smaller.
I also think even now, even with 40 people, I've seen a lot of alliances that usually they are lacking 2 or 3 members. It's really hard to keep like everyone active all the time long.
Yeah.
So probably it's better and easier to manage like
Yeah,
fewer people.
absolutely. As for the targets kind of are adjusted individually for each event, I believe. But usually also depend on the event type. So recently we had quite a lot of relaxed events, and there's a portion of players who are like, "Come on, guys, give me something to aspire to. Give me a hard event." And we try to balance stuff to not burn you out, guys.
We also have to cater for a lot more users. I mean, if we were to
Yeah.
only do hard events, then a lot of the users wouldn't be able to get the good
Yeah,
rewards.
it's a balance, right?
Yeah.
For example, if we were to change the format of this event, we would make some people happy, but some people unhappy. We ultimately, no matter what we do, some people will be unhappy, and we accept that. We just try to shift that every now and then to make sure that we cater to as large the amount of players as we can. But it's difficult. It's difficult to run a live game.
You know what we almost forgot? We have some
Yeah.
art to show.
Yes, good. Oh my! There's 7 minutes left.
Yeah,
How
that's
did
what
that
I'm saying.
happen? We just
It's
showed
talking.
we just showed the bots. We answered a couple questions.
Like half an hour ago.
Adam just
So it's my fault.
everything gets lost in time.
I completely derailed the stream.
What's
It's
that?
because of this cookie. So guys,
What? Don't blame the cookie. Cookie was delicious.
I'm blaming. Okay. So guys, as you remember surely, Motormaster Rodimus. I gave a long speech last week about it, and people didn't like it. Motormaster Rodimus, you voted for them. We will show them now. Boom.
Whoa. Okay. Here is Motormaster concept art.
It's a so-called paint over. So
Yeah.
our artwork goes through various
Sorry,
stages.
not concept paint over.
We start with something we call mood board, where we take a toy and we actually propose references, we propose changes. We agree on the changes with Hasbro. Following that, we create a paint over, which is the one you can see right now. And the paint over is a more detailed, more visually detailed concept. In this case, Motormaster has been inspired, as you can see, by the G1 version. The truck, the trailer, is integrated in the bot himself, which is quite tricky to pull off, actually, when you think of it. But we managed to kind of nail it. As we go along, like as we do more and more bots, we've done triple changes, right? We've done combiners. Our capabilities increase. So we have a trailer here. And the bot itself looks really damn good. So can you zoom in a little? Can you increase the size of the art? I would like to show the kind of the face and the details. We also have these glorious rocket launchers, the rocket
The
pods.
face and the details.
Yeah, we get rocket pods on the shoulders. We do aim to have these functional potentially in the game. Josh has been working on gameplay design of these bots. When we have a bit more to share, we will. Next up is Rodimus.
Dun, dun, dun.
Rodimus Prime. So as you can see here, we have pushed things a little towards a more refined, mature version of Hot Rod. So a more mature version of a bot, looking like in comparison to Hot Rod, let's say. Because yes, this is Rodimus, and Rodimus is a bit more mature but a bit more refined bot. So we have made certain details a bit bigger and brighter. We actually pushed the color palette a little towards darker, more burgundy red, which also makes the yellows kind of shine a bit more and pop. Yeah, exactly. And again, here Rodimus looking pretty buff. These pipes on his wrist are actually going to be functional in the game, probably similarly to the Motormaster approach with the rocket pods. However, these guys are going to be most likely kind of frontline brawlers. So these extra range capabilities will be in addition to what they can do on the battlefield. And as for these bots, they will use the special ability that you guys have voted for, which is the Matrix Burst and Lightning Burst, which I'll remind you, you'll be able to target your whole team and send a wave of kind of lightning or matrix based kind of spark blast around each bot. So if you manage to position your bot correctly, if you use, let's say, Inspiring Charge or some other kind of nice deployment strategy with these bots, you'll be able to deal quite a lot of damage in an area of your choosing, depending on how you kind of place your bots. So quite an interesting ability. I'm really happy you guys voted for it because it was one of the most interesting ones on the list. And when we can, we will share a bit more info. We try to space this down in time to keep you guys on your toes.
Excited.
And I believe if you're not part of our newsletter, you should be, and then you'll have a chance to see these things maybe a bit earlier, maybe a day or two earlier as we send our newsletter, possibly. And if not this actual thing, then the future things. Definitely, when we do bring stuff, we try to bring it first to our newsletter recipients, and of course the stream before we put it in the game. All right, that was Rodimus, and now we have a newsletter. We have a normal newsletter, monthly newsletter.
I know. Anyways, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Right, so this was Rodimus and Motormaster.
Yes, looking very cool.
We will show you more, guys, when we can.
Is Motormaster the first truck on the Decepticon side?
Depends how you count the trucks, right? Because we have the off-road, who's more of an SUV.
I mean, like a semi,
Like a proper truck.
like
Well, we have
Optimus.
Nemesis Prime, right?
Yeah, but that's like it doesn't really count.
So as for the biggest bots, so we have a train, okay, Astro Train.
I know,
but
but
yeah,
I mean specifically.
is the big proper truck? Yes. Ultra Magnus I would also call like a proper truck because it's a good nice trailer. So that was on the Autobot side. Yeah, I think it's the first Decepticon with a proper big rig. Yeah, exactly, Brandon.
It's the first
big rig.
It's the first bot that's like a big rig, even
Big
though
rig.
doesn't have his trailer.
He doesn't have a trailer.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, alright. Big rigs coming to Transformers Air Force. Yeah, we do not have a timeline. These bots are not releasing with the next saga. The next saga that starts next week will be centered on something else. But for that, join us next week as we will start our new saga. For now, enjoy the weekend and your chance to get Astro Train and Springer. This has been a blast. The time has blasted through my brain completely. I'm sorry if I overtook the discussion a bit too much.
It's okay.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Yanis.
Thanks. Nice being here.
Thanks a lot to you, Deborah, for running this show.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks
And-
as always.
And thanks to
Thanks
you
for
guys.
the partial cookie.
Thanks to you guys for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.